nightmares in my head. I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you stay, click like, and drop a comment. Now, I'll be talking about a woman from the Philippines under servitude for 30 years.
My 93-year-old dad is iconic, but I want to introduce you to the real legend of the family, Elena. She lived with my family for about 30 years, and about 6 months ago, she decided it was time for her to move back to the Philippines.
You're part of my family. You're part of mine.
She got me ready for my first day of preschool, moved me into my college dorm and everything in between, so taking her back to the Philippines was something I could not have wanted to do more.
You're going to the Philippines?
Yes, I'm going to the Philippines. I have to take her home. It had been over 30 years since Nanny had last been to the Philippines. She sacrificed raising her son and daughter to get a job in America and send every dollar she could back home to her family. She is the hardest worker, and it's not an exaggeration to say that she's been through hell, yet somehow she's the smiliest, happiest person I have ever met. Before I knew it, it was time to head to LAX, and when I tell you I have never experienced heartbreak like this before, God, I love this woman so much. The princess, as I like to call her, was of course chauffeured all around LAX. She made so many friends, we got a ton of snacks, and we were ready for the longest flight ever. We had a tearful goodbye to America. She thanked it for everything it had brought to her. I cursed it for not letting her stay forever. We held hands the majority of the flight, and before I knew it, we were in the Philippines. All sorts of things were going through my head at this point. Will Nanny's family take good care of her? Will they resent me? How will she fit in? Will she be homesick for America? I was so anxious, I cannot even tell you. Stay tuned for part 2, my time in the
Now, if that wasn't bad enough, before she deleted the video, somebody had commented this and said, why did she never get to visit her home during the 30 years? That's crazy. Lexi replied back and said her immigration lawyers advised her not to and advised her kids not to visit. It was her decision to stay here as long as she did. That's wild. It is. Now imagine in the coming days, a bunch of legal eagles as well as immigration attorneys are going to come out and challenge this statement below. But tell me what you guys think of this story. How crazy is it that in 2023, people still have nannies who are separated from their families and at their late age get to go home?
She lived with my family for about 30 years, and about 6 months ago, she decided it was time for her to move back to the Philippines.
You're part of my family.
Hey girly, just a thought. Y'all consider each other family. Why couldn't y'all fly her back to her actual children in the 30 years that she was with you? Seems like y'all have the means, so I'm a little confused as to how y'all can have flown her out to Philippines, or you can have flown the children out to America. I don't understand. Obviously, you don't have to, but for someone that you consider family, you would think that that would happen at least once in 30 years. Anyways, just a question.
It seems slavery is in their DNA, and in this case, servitude. If you don't know, slavery is one of the world's biggest practices. There are different kinds, and we know of the transatlantic enslavement trade was brutal and inhumane, like the Muslim slave trade. But there are other forms of servitude like indentured servitude, bondsmen and bondswomen, and there's different kinds. The biggest practice today is the same: exploitation of the poor and marginalized people, human trafficking to exploit them for cheap labor. It's done in America through the 13th Amendment, also the current reimagining of child labor laws and the minimum wage. This TikTok was made to be a sweet, kind gesture from the girl that she was taking care of. The parents did not want to see her off since she was a part of the family, which was strange to me. This woman has 2 children that did not get to spend holidays with their mother because she was sacrificing everything to provide money for her children. I know that she did not get days off, vacations, breaks, and other deserved perks while caring for these people and their child, which I'm very nauseous to call them people. You know, she gave everything to their child while her children never got to see her in 30 years, and they thought that was okay. Then when their child went to college and she is no longer needed, they discarded her. Thankfully, they didn't take her out to the shed. They sent her back and discarded her and won't think about her unless they wish she was there to do something for them. That is their heart. People are looking for good where there is none. These people could afford a servant. They could have gotten her citizenship, a green card, a work visa, brought her children to live, got her housing, at least paid for a visit or two, annual or semi-annual. They could have gifted that to her. A trip to see her children or brought the children over. They didn't give not a half of a care about this woman nor her children. If this is the way you treat someone you call family, I would hate to think what you would do to an enemy that cannot defend themselves. Oh wait, we can. Personally, I'm not surprised, but this saddens me for what her children went through, not having their mother. I hate the family, and I really hope they can feel all the feelings the children felt being away from their mother. I wish this family nothing short of 5 times what they made her and those children feel. What else can one expect from a being that does not have a soul? In 30 years, raising their child, not one great gesture, empathy, sympathy, compassion, or compassionate thought, gift of gratitude, opening presents with their child on birthdays, Christmases, Mother's Day, not one care for her or her children in a God-fearing, what would Jesus do nation. This exploitation happens with African women, Asian women, Russian women, and that's just to name a few. And just a side note, can you imagine what exploitation the passport bros are doing to the young women and the children on the ex-trafficking side? That is second to the human trafficking servitude side. I have no words for this disgusting world we live in. How long before a catastrophic event happens to end all the mayhem, chaos, deviancy, and dysfunction? I'm numb at this point. Looking at this story, this was supposed to be some sweet feel-good story, and there was no thought in the back of that brain, or half a brain, that this would be not a good thing to post. This would seem like exploitation and usury, but how can you expect someone like that to have foresight like that when that's so normal in their life? They'll do it to their own. But yeah, just to see her having to smile and hug them. If you noticed in the video, the mother that was holding the dog looked like she didn't like her. Who knows some dark things that went on? We'll never know, and she probably would never tell. She's grateful to be able to get American money and send it to the Philippines to her children, trying to provide something better when 9 times out of 10 usually America is the reason why a country is going down. But this made me sick. It made me dislike, even hate this girl and that family that you sit up there and have the nerve to call her family and talking about you don't want her to leave, but you don't have one bit of empathy for her children being away from their mother. Like that wasn't even a forethought or an afterthought. I wish some way that the family could get sued or charged or something would happen with them. I'll go ahead and leave it right here. Let me know what you think about this story. Do you believe that she was told by an attorney not to say anything and not to see the children? I mean, in 30 years, I would have thought there would have been some type of way that she could have gotten a work visa or something, and she could have gotten citizenship. And then that she could bring her children over. Something is fishy here and not right, but go ahead and drop that comment, and I'll see you in the next one.
Oh, look at that. That's the cutest little face I ever saw. Can you give me some sugar? You sweet. Hey, you a safe Annie?
Miss Millie, always going on over the cup.
Your children are so clean. Would you like to work for me? Be my maid?
Hell no.
What did you say?
Hell no.
What did she say?